Are we live? Listen, I wanted to share something with Peter. What he said, I get to be the architect. And what we wanted to design is something that would be a business opportunity and an opportunity for people to make money, but an opportunity for people to learn while they make money, become certified, and then teach. Remember what I talked about earlier, that the teacher is our most valuable asset? Well, I want to become a teacher. And I've always wanted to be a teacher. And I want you to become teachers too. We started talking about that in the Masters when you guys came back from the Bahamas, how you went to the gym and you guys went in there with what you learned and you started teaching people. And can you imagine all the programs that Peter has, you learning them, becoming certified in them, then coming back to your community and teaching them and earning money from it so that it becomes a financial opportunity as well as an opportunity to change lives. So we've been architecting this. This has been my architect and Peter's philosophy, and we've been working at this for quite some time. We've followed the industry. He gave me the opportunity to go and follow some of the best people in the business, and it just made me sick. I don't want to question what their motives are, but I'm a businessman. When I see a money machine, I understand it. You know what my favorite place to go is? Disneyland. To stand back and watch cha-ching, 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 and it's still such a fantasy to go there, but it's a money machine. And some of these people, and actually, Peter knows my history, I actually helped some of these people create their money machines years and years ago. And they've got away with themselves. But the thing that we're concerned with, and where's the teacher? Are you here in the room tonight still? The fellow that works with kids? What's your name, sir? Ollie. So, Ollie, just tell people what you do now. Get him live. Ollie, come on up. Come on up. This is huge. This is huge. You people have all experienced that there are no such thing as accidents. And this man came to me about 3 hours ago. Come here. And told me that I teach in the school districts. I was a teacher, and now I come back as an independent for the school district, and I teach 20,000 some kids through my business. And I would like to start teaching entrepreneurialism to children, say at the age of 5. Let him tell you what he does.
Probably can tell I'm a little bit out of my comfort zone. So. A little bit out of my comfort zone, but I'm sure I'll get into my stride. Yes, basically I teach about, the company that I do teaches about 20,000 children every week. And it's all primary school children from 5 to about 12 years old. And ours is all through sport. That's our main thing. And we go in and we teach the children and sport in schools, and it works really well. But to do that, we get them at a certain level. They've done a certain amount of sport, but what I really find is how we sort of light up the children, really, and that's the main sort of thing where we empower them, we make a big difference to their lives. They have a male role model, and not always a male role model, but a role model, and it does make a massive difference to their lives and actually the whole community. So that's the essence of what we do. What my sort of thought was that they can come from any sort of background, and it would be great if we could teach them that there are different ways that we can do things.
What do you think of that? And so I can architect it. Peter can create the content. He has the contacts and the teaching skills to teach us how to be great teachers. And we'll start teaching young children. Give them a big hand.
Thank you very much.
Outstanding. Outstanding. You know, there's no such thing as accidents. Peter, did you hear that? There's no such thing as accidents. And my concept with Peter was if we could train a generation of people to learn entrepreneurialism, can you imagine what wildfire that could be like? And also give you people a financial opportunity. And I don't mean just a financial opportunity, I mean a good financial opportunity where you can earn in the area of low six to, of medium six to high seven to low seven digits a year by spreading a good message. Is that something that you could get behind? Is that something that you could get behind? Teaching people how to take care of themselves, teaching people how to change the world. And we talked about it, and it's a paradigm shift. And that's what we talked about. And I believe my commitment to you, my wish for this project is in 3 years, this will become the business model for self-help. And they'll all jump in and do it. We're not caring about we are the only ones that do it. We're caring about the result. And the results aren't happening for people in this industry that exists today. But with your help, they will happen because, see, here's the thing. You have to change yourself. So think about this. And I heard this a long time ago. Everybody thought Zig Ziglar said it, but Napoleon Hill actually did. Are you ready for this? Get what you want by helping other people get what they want. Now, what happens if you get the education and change your own life and then help other people change their lives and be rewarded for it? Financially, as well as spiritually, as well as economically, and the whole triangle gets filled. And you need to change your life to be able to change other lives. And can you imagine how this could spread in communities? How when you went into the gym, everybody was around you that day, and all of a sudden, everybody wanted to know what you were doing. Can you imagine in communities, not just here, but all over the world? We've got people here from everywhere, people here from the Eastern Bloc that are hungry, just hungry for self-help education. We've got people here that are in the industry today and can stand up and attest to the fact that it's not working. But with a guy like Peter and a big heart, and he's going to take his business and say, let me just half it. Let me give half away to these people here. And then let's us go out and make opportunity and change lives. And for some of you, you'll join us, and that will be our foundation because we're going to launch it tomorrow night. So I want to share a story with you, and it's a very emotional story for me. You've heard it already. But, and Robert, you know this. For close to 40 years, I've been feeding kids in the community of East Vancouver, which is the low, everybody has, everybody's got an impoverished area. And these are two schools that give us their cafeterias. We bring in our food, we bring in our chefs, and we feed people, kids, 365 days a year, not just during the school season. And these are kids that come to school. It's so heartbreaking. The kids that come to school with shoes with no laces in it, with windbreakers with holes in it in the wintertime. And they get no love. Their mothers some are trying, some aren't, some are sick, drugs, prostitution. Most are from single homes. And we invite the moms in as well as designated huggers. And they feed the kids, and then every kid gets a hug before they leave. I wanted a trust company because Robbie knows me. I do things anonymously because, first of all, I'm not such a great guy. I don't need the tax deductions. I've been in a tax haven since 1973. So I don't need the tax deductions, but I needed a company to administrate it. And so the CIBC group, we brought them in. And the way we hooked them is we brought the CEO and the top advisors to the company to a breakfast and let them feed the kids. And like you, Robbie, came out with tears. Now, Rob was involved in a Care Bear thing where we raised $1.5 million for Special Olympics, the best fundraiser you did at the Hudson Bay Company. But we needed $6 million a year, it's more now, to make this project work. So I brought the CEO in and these people in, and they came out with the same way you will come out, with tears in their eyes. And the guy said, Big E, my nickname, he said, what do you need? I said, I need $3 million. And I said, I'll put up 3 and you guys can get the tax deduction for 6. And he said, Errol, what you showed me today, if my company won't put the money up, I'll put it up myself. Well, the company did. And this is close to 40 years ago. Remember I told you earlier that if Sarah's still here, that I was scheduled to die. Go home, get your affairs in order, Zaijin, which is Mandarin for see you later, bye-bye. And I wanted this, I hadn't organized this to perpetuate. So I went in, and nobody in that office knows who I am except 3 guys over the 40 years, and those are 3 different CEOs that knew where the money was coming from. So I went in, and there's a lending team that handles the $6 million. It's put up at the beginning of the year, and they invest it, they make money on it, and then they contribute it and take their tax deductions. Okay? I come in to the place, and the lending team that takes care of it is 4 people, and this is going to get me, but a young man comes up, just like that, shocked me. My hair went purple. I pooped my pants. It was horrible. What the hell happened there? Just kidding. Wait, it gets better. I didn't really poop my pants. I peed myself. No, just kidding. So a young kid comes up, and 35 years old, gives me a hug. I don't know who he is, but you've seen me. I hug everybody. You know, hi, how you doing? Got money for liquor? Yeah, sure. You know, if a bum says, what do you want the money for? He says, I want it for beer. I give him money. If they say I want it for, food, and I got 3 kids at home, in Palm Springs, a lady gave me this spiel. I said, ma'am, if you can take me home and show me your 3 kids, I'll give you $100,000. And he knew I meant it. And she told me the last part of her sentence, it was a 2-word sentence, was off. And then she walked away. So this kid, this young man, very well dressed, one of the fund managers, came up and gave me a hug. And he said, 35 years ago, you gave me a hug. He was one of the kids. The fund has given 400 scholarships away. And this young man got a scholarship, thank you. And I've told this story 100 times now, and it shakes me up every single time. Thank you, dear. He got a scholarship, went to school, became a financial planner, and has worked for this company for 16 years, makes $180,000 a year. His mom is cleaned up off the street, lives with him and his 3 kids in West Vancouver in a beautiful home. And I went and had a meal with him. He introduced me to other kids that had scholarships. And now he goes 3 times a week and he gives kids food. That's what's possible. If we get together and do something, that's what's possible. And 35 years from now, some young kid could come up and give you a hug and say, you changed my family's life. Now tell me, how rewarding will that be? Money can't replace that. So I'm sorry, I've been a babbling, you did it to me too. I've been a babbling crybaby for half the day. But these are things that are possible with good hearts, good mind, and a solid commitment. And I don't know of anybody's message that I would like to share with the world other than Peter Sage's. And tomorrow we're going to invite you, those of you who want to join us. We're going to have complete trainings. We know how to build businesses. We'll show you how to build a business, but we'll show you how to build a business with purpose and cause. And I don't think it's none too soon for those of you who've been watching the shenanigans that are going on in the United States, how despicable and name-calling and what has become of politics. And one of those people is going to end up running the most powerful country in the world. Time for change. Time for change. And what I ask you is you change your lives and then help other people change their lives. And that's something that some of you will commit to and be part of our process. And we're very excited, and thank you, Peter, for sharing that with everybody and for giving me the platform. Peter, for giving me the platform for being able to do this. And it's what I want to do. I want to be a teacher for the rest of my life. And that's why right now, tonight, my commitment to you is I will not leave this room until every question is answered. So have at me. I'm going to sit down if you don't mind. And how many people put questions up on Facebook? Okay? Now's the time to ask them. Because I said if you were here in the room, we would answer the question. So if you remember your questions, Mike, people, Peter, if Peter's got to rest, he's handling tomorrow. But I'm going to steal some time. You already know that. But I have very little to do tomorrow, so I'm prepared to answer questions all night if you need me here. So let's get started. Mic operators, operate. Who's first? Stand up, who you are, where you're from, what your business is, please. Thanks, honey.
Hi, Errol. My name's Matthias. I'm from Australia. I'm not working at the moment. I done the EMF with Peter, and he's influenced me. He's changed me, so I'm here now, and I'm very grateful for you and for Peter.
You know, you put a post on, didn't you, about quitting your job because you just, it wasn't conducive to who you were anymore.
Yes.
That's the post.
Yes.
Just so you know, I listen.
Thank you. It means a lot to me. I did write the questions here. I'm just going to find them.
So, and listen, guys, if you feel like leaving, just go ahead. I won't feel bad. Just leave a card because, you know, I'll send somebody to your room with explosive devices. I'm just kidding. But if you need to leave or go get food or whatever, we're going to be here when you come back. I might need a bathroom break or maybe just use a bottle. You know, I'm 66 years old. I'm not shy anymore. That's for sure. After 40 days in the hospital of wetting your pants, you can. What is it? We were born in diapers and we end up. I'm not wearing one, but I should be. So, have you got the question yet?
I can't find them.
No, it's okay. Can I get a cot, little nap? We'll have a sleep here. Who's next? And keep looking, and go ahead, ask your question.
Hi, Errol. Before I ask my question, I just want to share a very quick something I experienced last week, and I don't believe in coincidences. So, as a yoga teacher, one of my passions is helping people, and especially more recently, young people. And I set the intention that I wanted to start teaching yoga in schools. And lo and behold, about 2 or 3 weeks later, the head teacher of one of the local schools starts practicing in my studio. And they really connected with the practice of yoga and said, I'd love you to teach them in my local school. So we set something up. And I went in there not knowing what to expect. One of my things is try and really push myself out my comfort zone wherever I can. And the thought of teaching 15 and 16-year-olds is quite out of my comfort zone. But I thought I'd just throw myself in there and see how it goes. And I did. And it was fascinating.
You know, these young people are amazing. Ty and I just figured out, you know, now he's working for me today or this week, but we've known each other we figured out 7 years. I've been mentoring him and people around him, and they pay me a lot of money, and I use it a lot. You know, he pays me with these golf swings. He hits the ball over the 300-yard mark, over the fence. Bastard. Your question.
Yeah, so I started teaching them, and I had 2-hour slot with them. And I thought, I'm going to have to spend most of the time doing movement because they got loads of energy and I need to thrash it out of them. And that didn't work at all. And there were 2 things that worked.
I'm going to stop you because if everybody gives a dissertation, we're going to be here forever.
Oh, sorry.
Do you have a question for me? And no offense.
No, that's okay. That's okay. My question to you is, how do you know how big to grow a business? And how do you know when you are just chasing a white rabbit? Like, where is the end goal of the growth of a business?
Okay, can you tell me the question? I didn't hear you. How do you know when you're not chasing the white rabbit? When you can't see a tail wiggling in front of you. No, the end of the day is, if you can't figure that out, you know, any business that you're in, number one, are you in service, or are you selling a service or a product? So you're selling a service, correct? Because you're in a yoga studio.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. So is your business giving a service to people, and are you giving them value?
Yes.
Is it growing, and are you making a living?
Yes.
Not chasing a white rabbit. If it wasn't growing and you weren't making a living, you know, Bugs Bunny's there.
Yep, okay.
So keep on going. To scale a business like that, you've got to get out of dollars for hours. I know other yoga teachers. And that means you've got to either get into a product-based business to go along with, or get a DVD or a website that you can teach and charge money for. So you can create a membership program or some kind of program that will generate income aside from your dollars for hours. And then you're scaling your business and making it bigger. Is this helpful?
Yeah, very
right,
helpful. Thank you.
Next question. He got it now? He's got it. All the way from Australia. He had Federal Expressed it back to himself. Thank you very much. Give him a hand, please. And listen, my friend, I apologize for cutting you off. because I didn't mean that, but if everybody gets up and does it, we'll be 2 o'clock in the morning. Hi, Peter, good morning. Breakfast?
So I got 3 questions. Last one and
Would
then...
you just come up? I don't hear very well.
Okay. So one of my questions is, who
You
what?
got 3 questions.
I'll ask only one.
No, listen, this is modern day. I'm gonna tell you a story about the genie and only getting 1 wish now because it's the 21st century. But no,
Okay.
please.
Okay.
People will learn from your questions.
Okay. Who has inspired you the most in life? What did you learn from them? And what difference did their teachings make?
Oh, all 3 at the same time. Now you're testing my...
Well, that's only one. That
Good,
was
good
only
thing
one.
I was in the stem cell business. Just a second. Okay. Number 1, everybody knows. Everybody that knows me knows who my mentor was, Napoleon Hill, and he taught me the 13 principles to success. And to widen the story, in 1970, I bought at Christie's one of the original pressings of Think and Grow Rich, the 1936 first 100 pressing edition. I have it. It's one of my prized possessions in my vault. And I had an investigator find Napoleon Hill for me. He met me in Chicago, had lunch with me. I told him what the book meant to me. I got it in 1964, and then he invited me to dinner with him. He said, "Do you have a suit?" I said, "Sure I do," as soon as I get to J.C. Penney's. And he invited me to the Chicago Club where I had to have a suit, and I got to meet William Clement Stone. And the cap to the night was I smoked a cigar with them. I wasn't going to miss it. Never smoked a cigar before and haven't after. And they dipped the tip in cognac and then sucked on that sucker. And, for those of you cigar smokers, you're not supposed to inhale. Well, they didn't explain that to me. So it was Napoleon Hill and Think and Grow Rich. And to this day, you saw my young friend Scott. That was a gift that I gave him. That's yours to keep, Scott. I don't expect to have it back. It's $39.95. Just leave the money at the table. But since Sam said I'm such a hard ass, the difference is I'm more easy with money than Peter is. Is that a good answer to your question?
That is beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank him very much. Next person, who is it? Come on up, come on up. Come on up, whoever it is. Come on up. Maybe come up, just line up here. So we got the questions. Come on, the next person.
Hey, hi Errol.
She's taking it all on.
I gotta make sure I get it right since I've only
All right.
got one question. Okay, so I asked Errol in the hallway earlier about should I fund my own business or should I look for investors? And his simple answer was fund it yourself to prove that the concept works and then look for investors. So this is my second question, is how long do you need to prove it out before you look for investors? How do you find investors? Like, what are they looking for when you talk about proving that the business works?
Okay. Number one question would be to be able to make a living at it. In other words, when you're making a substantial living, and whatever that is, a modest living. So she's in a cosmetic business, and she wants to go to a big cosmetic company. She's got 12 targeted. See what I remember? Yeah. She's got 12 targeted, and Robbie, you'll be able to answer this better than I would. She's got 12 targeted. I told her to go to 2 first and give her pitch, her spiel, and tell her story and see what she gets back. And then out of 12, she's going to find one, and you know how to sell. Mm-hmm. She's going to find one that's going to give her the opportunity. Possibly, Robbie, they will fund it if they want to come in. And before the end of the evening, raise your hand. That's the guy you want to see, because he'll give you a list of 24. And so once you know you have something that's scalable and the people want it, then take it back and report it. and tell them you want to, and they might fund it themselves.
There's three reasons why you want to do that. Number one is the farther you take it down.
Robbie, get a.
3 reasons why you want to do it that way is, Errol's right. The farther you take it down the road before you get outside investors, the more money you'll get when you ask for the money. The second reason is because it's your baby. The moment you bring in an outside investor, you're putting at risk your ability to lose control. And you don't want to do that. Because there's a lot.
Especially young.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
Because it's venture capital then. They're taking all the risk. And they'll want.
Yeah.
They'll want substantial.
So the third reason is that, if you will look at, or it's actually part of the second, if you look at all the success stories in life, whether it's MAC Cosmetics or whatever, you'll find that people will tell you they had people trying to guide them in the wrong direction, and they were told no, it wouldn't work, and they made it work.
Has anybody here heard of MAC Cosmetics? The man that launched them is sitting right there. He launched them. They were a small license department. In one of his operations, he was an executive at Hudson Bay, and he took them to the company that they are today, and also told them to do it in black with gold. He actually did their colors, and by the way, he did another cosmetic company as well. So I would suggest you talk to him before you go to sleep tonight. Is that answer? Now, this is great because maybe a lot of you have questions like that. And so somebody asking a question like that, how do I fund myself? And this has been a great answer. Yeah. Wonderful question. Thank you very much.
The third thing is you're going to earn while you learn.
Yes.
Gee, Rob, where did you hear that one?
Thank you.
You know, it's funny when you hear people say things that you taught them, and it sounds like it's their own. Peter does this all the time, and I'm going, wow, that sounds familiar. Yeah, he said, you told me last week. Next question. And come on up if you've got other Facebook questions or other questions.
Hello, my name is Klaus. My name is Klaus from Switzerland, and I've got a question which has to do with my professional background. I was working in Central Africa for a couple of years.
In South Africa.
Central Africa.
Central Africa.
And I got very sick with malaria.
Is that where the silverbacks are? Central Africa?
Central African Republic, that's where a war was going on. Many people have been killed recently. And I worked there to run a hospital for a couple of years, and I got very sick with malaria. And I have a new idea how to treat malaria.
How to treat, idea how to treat malaria.
So the idea is to develop a drink.
And what's your question? I don't need to know the procedure.
I don't know. I have got the molecule to do that. We have got the molecule to do that. And the thing is that it's incredibly difficult to develop a product in healthcare which finally can be applied and used, because you need to invest a lot of money.
This is a very interesting question. Number one, I own a stem cell company in China. We just sold one division last November for $4 billion. You need a partner, and your partner needs to be in the pharmaceutical industry, and that's all that I can tell you, because if you've got something, you're going to have to prove it. Are you anecdotal, or do you have documentation?
No, we have documentation. I mean,
well,
first of all,
then it's going to be a lot easier.
I had malaria 13 times, and I know what I'm talking about.
No, that's fine. You don't have to convince me.
We have treated lots of patients. We have done the results validated in the Institut Pasteur in Bangui.
The first thing you need to do is put your P's and Q's together. You have to set up your presentation, your documentation. And are you anecdotal, or are you blind tested?
It's anecdotal, because to do a clinical trial, you need
I happen to like anecdotal, because then you get your testimonials together and your anecdotal information, and you work in a hospital now. Are you a physician?
Right.
Okay. So the first thing I would do would get testimonials from other physicians that have used your treatment or are prepared to use your treatment, and get it documented. Once you've got yourself documented, if you're not the person to give a presentation, hire somebody that is. And that's where you put your money, in your pitch man or woman, doesn't have to be a man, but your pitch person, and then you go to for the pharmaceutical industry. If you've got something that's valid, a German company just gave me $4 billion and we didn't have double-blind testing either, because if you're aware, if you test something in China, nobody believes you. So, and it is a lot of money to get things authenticated. But that's who will be your partner. Is that helpful?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so
Thank you.
Presentation is going to be everything. And get your stuff together, your documentation. Now, here's another avenue. Go to universities and give free lectures on it.
What about footage? We have lots of footage, 40 hours of footages of our patients, before and after.
Well, whatever you do to make your presentation, to prove your case. But then what I'm saying is, go to where somebody will listen to you, and you've got to tell your story. You know, what he's talking about, the answer is, see the people, tell the story. See the people, tell the story. And somebody will hear you.
Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. That's a fantastic, give a hand. That's simple. Outstanding, outstanding. Next question, come on up. I feel like, yeah, come on down. You're next after her.
Hi, Errol. I'm Deborah. I'm just about to launch my coaching business. We share a similar passion, wanting people to change themselves to change the world. My question for you is, how do you prioritize or choose which venture or opportunity to get involved in, particularly if two or more are within your area of passion and expertise and align with your vision and purpose?
If you're asking me, it would be the most profitable one. Because the more money you get, the more you can pursue any of them. So if whatever is the most profitable, that's the one that I would package. But it doesn't mean it has to be the only one. It could be the first of many.
That's great. I was hoping you'd say that.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Congratulations. What is it? What field are you in? Is it a product or is it a service?
Coaching.
It's what?
Coaching.
Coaching. Okay. I'm familiar. 47 Blue. Call an audible. Introduce yourself.
I will.
These women.
Hello.
on the
Ooh,
stage.
hello, everyone. I'm Jen. Some of you might know me. Hi, Errol.
Hi, dear. Good to see you again.
Yes, I know.
We've had a great chat already.
We have.
Your question.
I want to say thank you.
You're very welcome.
I run a holistic rehabilitation program for young people,
Yes, for you. I know.
young
I'm familiar with
addicts
you've
and
shared with me.
offenders. And I'd forgotten this question, but Matthias very kindly just gave it to me on the phone from the group. But I wanted to know, where is the best place to start when the vision is really big? Basically, my vision is to get kids off drugs.
You have two choices.
Worldwide.
If you have a vision, and your vision, is it going to be non-profit or is it going to be for profit? First question.
I think the one will follow the other. I mean, I've done this.
No, the one
work
won't
for-
follow the other. It's got to be profit or non-profit.
Well,
Look behind you. Nope, it's not following you.
no, but
I've looked for years. It hasn't followed me. I even drop money and it just stays there. You know, I tried. Peter's. Come on, boy. Come on, 5 pounds.
But the thing
Nope,
is,
done.
when it's a healthy world, and when the next generation are empowered and living to their full potential, then it will be a better world for everyone. And my
Well,
heart
I
will
understand
be
that, but
full.
I
And
don't.
that's-
I'm going to tell you something. You're asking business advice here, so I'm not going to burst your bubble.
Okay.
Nobody gives a shit. I'm sorry, but nobody does. If you think just because you're passionate about something and it'll change the world, that people will pay money for it. They don't care.
But that's the dilemma, is that these kids
Well,
don't
the-
have any money.
the
so
dile-
it's-
the
but there
dilemma
are
is-
lots of celebrities.
Here's the
lots
dilemma.
Who isn't
Now,
some-
either
who
you're
isn't-
going to listen or you're not going to listen.
Okay.
Because if you want to sit here and argue, go argue with somebody else, because
Yeah. No,
it's not going to change anything. Now, here, I will give you advice. You start small. You start in a community with a church or an organization like Sally Ann, Salvation Army, that already deals with the affliction. She's talking about drug affliction and drug affliction in youth. And you start with them and you show them what you can do.
Yeah.
And guess what? If you don't know this, Salvation Army is huge, and they got a lot of dough. And
Okay.
you have to start at grassroots with something like this,
Yeah, yeah.
because you don't have a lot of money to throw at this.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm giving, you know, I have people, and this is at every seminar we do. People come up to me and go, "Oh, I have this business idea, and I'm going to give half to charity." Nobody cares. And just because you know, people are thinking because they're going to give something to charity, it's going to make the business grow faster. It won't. You know when it makes the business grow faster? When you got a bunch to give to charity.
Yeah.
You know, and then charity will care about you, and they'll give you a deduction. So, you know, I know you're passionate about it, and I wasn't trying to cut you off,
No,
because
I understand.
it's very important.
It's
She's
needed.
talking about young kids that are I mean, preteens that are
Some-
addicted.
yeah,
My
some-
brother was addicted to drugs by the time he was 12 years old, and he lived 33 years on the street. And you know him. And then he was 12 and a half years clean working for Sally Ann, and he became a legend in the industry. They changed his medication. Oh, man. They changed his medication, Sam, to Robin, the same medication Robin Williams was on, the same result. 30 days after he was on the medication, committed suicide.
We have a program that uses natural.
Well,
it's all
honey,
natural.
nobody
remedies.
cares. You've got to go ahead and you've got to start it.
It's been running for 13 years. We've got
Well,
so many success stories.
Then what are you asking me advice for?
Because the vision I have is so big, I want to take it around the world.
We'll
and
we'll
it's
take it around the world. Who's stopping you?
Nobody. I'm
Well, get
just
going.
kind of-
Get going. Don't waste your time on me. Come here, honey. I'm giving you good advice.
Thank you.
And you know, you might think that's cruel, but you know, she might as well hear it from me. And if you don't get another charity that to back you, that's got and listen to me, honey, you need a charity that has a structure, or you're not going to get anywhere. And that's the story. So if it's going for 13 years and you haven't found, then start looking for structure, and start looking for a charity that will listen to what you say and show them how to do it. Like I told the doctor, you've got to have your P's and Q's together, your presentation, and you've got to show them that it works. I know you're passionate about it. There you go. Well, there you go. You know, I understand, and you get a lot of sympathy from me, but absolutely no more advice than that. And that's the best advice that I can give you. Next question, and I don't mean to cut you off. And folks, if you think I'm being rude, I probably am. Oh, Tom.
These questions are from people
You're
still
going to
watch.
give me a shot at you? Oh, and it's not coming from you.
No, it's not coming from me.
Tom and I have had some
unfortunately.
great Skypes.
Yeah, we have had some great conversations.
We've sizzled a few screens, haven't we?
Okay, this is from Michael on the live stream.
Michael, where is Michael?
I don't know his location, but we can find out. Someone messaged me Michael's
Hello,
location,
Michael.
please. If you 100% believe in your why and your product, you have good meetings with a potential client, but they don't bite right away, how do you reapproach without looking desperate for new work/clients?
I didn't hear a word.
Okay,
you said.
so-
Come on closer.
If you 100% believe in your why,
If you're 100%,
like believe in your business,
you're 100.
like
Still
it,
not getting it.
okay,
Okay, you're committed to your business. Got it.
and then you have a meeting with a client, but they don't buy it, they don't like it. How
Okay,
do you?
well, the first thing you've got to do, what do you do? Is that the
That's
question?
the question, yeah.
Okay, very simple. You've got to ask the client why. Find out. I mean, there's two reasons. They don't believe in what what is it? Is it a product or a service?
Michael, please respond.
Michael didn't define it.
Let's just assume it's a service, not defined.
So, okay, it sounds like a service, but there's two things that are going to happen with a service. Either the client doesn't believe the product, what you're selling, the service that you're selling, or they don't believe you. Now, the best thing to do, your best anecdote is the client. That's probably it, but the client, you go to the client and you take a look at the client, and Michael, here's how you get better. If this is the problem, you go to 5 clients and analyze what happens, okay? And then you redesign your presentation and go to 5 more clients and analyze what happened. And at 10 clients, you should be better. Should you not? Okay? And the information that you have to get, the feedback, is from the client. Now, a lot of times what people do is they get passionate about something and they go to family members, and you'll get 2 things from family members. You'll get false support. Ooh, you'll get false support. Or you'll get criticism that will knock you out of the business. But by the time you've done 15 clients, okay, and if you're going to come back and say, I can't get 15, you're not in business yet. Is that making sense to everybody? Okay, Michael, good luck. Wonderful. We got another question?
Yep.
How am I
So
doing?
entering into business with
I'm reading it. I got it right here. I got all the answers. This is all staged. Well, I'm on a stage.
any advice for entering into business with best friends or with family?
Wow. Be very, very careful. You know, there's anybody heard of a thing called the NASDAQ? Heard of the NASDAQ? The NASDAQ has a pink sheet. There's about 16,000 companies on the pink sheet of NASDAQ. They can't get over $1, so they're called penny stocks. Any one of those 16,000 companies has got a great pitch. Normally, the money that they got was from friends and family, and 97% of the time, that money is going to be lost. So be very careful with friends and family. And what I told the lady about test market yourself until you're totally convinced that you've got a product or a service that's going to go, and then raise your money. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, that way you don't have family. And this is very interesting because we happen to have, and I'm not going to mention names, but we happen to have a company that you've invested in. And it was an emotional investment, and now where's your money? Down the shitter. And listen, the company is saying, no, it's not lost. If you could give us some more, we're going to give you 110% return on your money when we get some. And she went to me and she said, Errol, as my consultant, what do you suggest? And I said, please pay me first, because you're not going to get that money back.
Final one from live stream from
We
Summer.
got a third one. And who was that from?
I don't actually have the name of that person,
Okay,
but this one is from...
Anonymous. If you've already raised the money from your family, leave the country.
So, final one is from Summer. It's a long question, but I'm going to
Hello,
summarize.
Summer. It's autumn here.
So,
Yeah, pretty corny, huh? I got 1 million of them. That's a monkey joke.
Summer is launching a business on the internet. She's asking what's the best way to get connected with influential people to gain more exposure for this?
So she wants to launch a business on the internet,
Yep.
and she wants to meet influential people for exposure.
Yep.
What is, did they say what the business is?
Yeah, so the business is a unique form of social network in the form
I hope it's sex, because I can get you politicians right away. I mean, tons of them. I'm dying over here. They're killing me over here.
So it's a unique form of social network in the form of an online lifestyle magazine.
See the people tell the story. The first place that you should go to is YouTube, and start putting posts on YouTube, and then start blogging, and see what kind of tweeter, bloggy, and see what kind of feedback that you get. And if you get feedback, then if you want to meet influential people, you have to have something to say to them. You know, influential people aren't hanging out on Facebook waiting for you and they're not boasting that they're influential. But you can go to universities, you can talk to professors. I don't know what it is. Robbie, you got something you want to say?
If the person really has something worth talking about, I mean, we don't know what it is, then hire a publicist. You know, get one for $2,000 to $5,000 a month.
They can't afford it. I already can tell you that right now.
Well, that's the only thing. Otherwise, it's just a crapshoot.
You know, if that was the case, I would talk about it. But you know, this is I'm almost certain that this is organic and it's grassroots. So I've had people, I've got friends and business people that have actually built $1 million businesses just posting on YouTube. Because YouTube is an information channel, is it not? Where I'm talking to you, Ryan, because is an information channel, is that correct? And Facebook is a social network. And blog is where you're telling a story. And if you get a blog and a following, then you are becoming influential. If nobody answers you, you got your answer, don't you? Next question. You know, you can give me some support here if you like what I'm pulling teeth up here. I'm dying over here.
Hi guys, my name is Akiko. Came from California. I'm a registered nurse, and I just have 2 questions.
Just two.
Just two. What types of questions are important to ask yourself when asking or making life-changing decisions between 2 or more options? Like what?
Okay, and what's the second question?
Second one. At times, I have a hard time hearing my whisper, the quiet whisper within, due to a disconnect from the mind and the heart. And so I was wondering what you would recommend as far as practice to be more in sync with that at times.
Well, first of all, this isn't my field. It would be Peter's field. And I would defer to Peter Sage to answer the question about both of them, actually. But let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Are you planning on leaving nursing to go into business?
Potential, well, for real estate investment, yes.
So
but I love nursing.
No, okay, listen, why can't you do both?
I plan to do both.
Okay, so now you're asking me, so what was the question? And now the question sounds moot.
Oh, the question was, when you're kind of faced with 2 options that are really good, what kind of questions would you ask yourself so that?
Well, you can do both, though.
Well, I mean, yes.
So
yes, you can. That wasn't really the question.
You're confusing me. You're already a nurse.
Yes.
Right? And it's good pay. And it would help support mortgages. What kind of real estate are you looking to invest in? How about we talk about that?
Sure.
See, Cyrus? I've invested in a little real estate.
More so duplex, triplexes, more for single family.
And you want to rent them?
Yes, rent them out.
Do you want to do Airbnb? Because I got an expert in that.
Was thinking about it. It wasn't really, I haven't researched that much.
Have you bought yet?
No, I have not.
Okay.
No, I'm still really new in the.
Okay.
I need to build some type of investment first.
Everybody in the room that's involved in real estate, raise their hand. Look at how many people you have to talk to.
I need to remember all these
Okay,
faces.
I know 3. Actually, I know 4. And where are my guys from? Where's your partner? Oh, yeah. When I need him, where does he go? Okay. So I know a lot of guys, and why don't you network while you're here?
Absolutely. Yes.
How does that happen?
Perfect.
Okay. And listen, are you an RN?
I am.
Well, RNs really helped me a lot, so I really have a lot of admiration for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Give her a hand. She wants to be an entrepreneur. That's wonderful. Who's next?
Hi, I'm Claudio from Rome. Question is not mine. It's from my cousin.
It's not your question.
No,
huh?
no, no.
If
Cousin,
it's a good question, is it yours?
I hope so.
Okay.
Cousin from Mali. He's involved with the local government, and he's interested in knowing how he could get foreign investors.
Take the bribe.
No, no,
They
no.
offer you money. Take the money.
So he's interested in like knowing how to get foreign investors interested in bringing up the country and
So he wants to bring foreign investors into the country.
into the country for
May
entrepreneurship.
I ask, is he a politician, a mayor?
No, he knows.
And why is he wanting to bring foreign investors into the country?
I think to bring up ideas and to
Okay.
grow businesses
well,
locally.
The only way that I could suggest that he do it is to become political. Because if you're going to bring foreign investment into your country, you've got to be able to offer something. And he's going to have to be able to offer something. Can he offer it himself? Companies all over the world look to come to new countries. They look for tax credit. They look for real estate opportunities. You've got to make it conducive. Do you have any idea what kind of money he wants to come in?
Absolutely not.
So a nebulous question gets a nebulous answer.
Fair enough.
So I'm going to just answer yes.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe and no.
Hi,
Hi,
Errol.
sweetie.
Hi, I'm Rosemary.
Are you scared of me?
Am I scared
Come
of you?
on.
Thank you. Thank you so much for everything you've shared with everybody over the weekend. We feel really blessed. Thank you.
Your partner's back now. He's also, raise your hand. For the nice nurse, he's also in real estate. Yeah, raise your hand, Mr. Yeah, just raise your hand up. There's another guy to network with, and he's good. So are you guys, but he's just as good as you. Your question.
Right, so I'm also in the health industry, and my passion is obviously to help people to live the best life they can. And in my toolbox, I vary from lymphedema specialist through to hypnotherapist, mainly working with oncology patients.
And your question is?
Working independently about growing my business, do I just focus mainly in oncology because my passion is to educate people about lymphedema? But I also want to grow and create a business that's going to give me a return rather than just one-to-one, to develop something that I can have a passive income so I can focus more on the lymphedema side of things.
Let me ask you a question. Do you have something that you collect money for now?
Yes, I work at how I met Peter
what do you collect money for? How do you collect money? How do you earn money? What's your profit center, right?
What's my pulse? My pulse is one-to-one lymphatic drainage therapy and
Okay.
bandaging.
I got a little...
Okay, we'll sort you out after.
That a girl. So right now you're dollars for hours.
Yeah.
Okay. Very hard business to scale dollars for hours. Anybody else here a practitioner? Very hard to scale, but you can scale because you can have vitamin therapy, and you can do this too by generating products that you can sell to your clients. Also socks, become a person that sells the pressure
compression
sensitive
garments.
Yeah, and so find yourself some products that you can give the service to the customer, but then sell them something as well. Is that helpful?
That is fabulous. Thank you.
All right,
Thank
darling.
you. Thank you
Big
very
hug.
much. Thank you. God bless.
And also you can get a website and put the products with testimonials, put the products for sale on your website.
Thank you. I've
All
just
right.
done videos with some of the patients, so thank
There
you.
you go.
Thank
You're
you.
on your way. Next question. Give her a big hand. Give me a bigger hand. Just kidding. You don't have to.
Hello guys, my name is Miro. I will keep it concise, and before that I would like to say thank you for adding value to everybody.
Oh, Peter's paying me for this. Yeah, sure.
The partnership is working good. So we're at the stage of our startup business. We passed through the stage of the first...
What is your business?
Real estate.
Real estate.
Yeah, management.
Real estate management.
Airbnb management.
What do you manage? Your Airbnb.
Yeah, shortlets, mixing
Okay.
up. Yep. So
How many properties are you managing now?
30.
And are they other people's properties?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
What's your question?
And the question is, in the last month, we managed to get 10 because now we are scaling up very fast. And
When you say scaling up very fast, does that mean you're getting more properties to control?
Service.
Okay.
Yes. And so pretty much in 2 months, we did what we did for the last year.
And what's your question?
And the question is, what are the tips and what would be your suggestion you should be concerned? And the other thing is we're looking to raise as well crowdfunding or venture capital funding. So
Well,
at what stage would you recommend this to happen?
That's a real open question. The first thing is, and Michael, you and I have had some conversations on this, as many properties as you can own, so you rent them and you have equity, you're growing equity. Because if it's somebody else's property, you're just making rental income. So the look is towards areas that are equity-based areas so that you can generate equity in your company instead of just rental. And there you can partner with, like for instance, when I put you and Greg together, Greg's a builder, and would he like to take 20 properties and give them to you for you to manage them on Airbnb, and then he owns the properties, and you might be able to do equity-based JV, joint ventures, or buy properties yourself and put them into your network. Is that helpful?
Yep, definitely. And also about the intangibles in terms of systems. Even though we don't own the assets, we own the systems, and this could be replicable.
Well, sure.
Replicated.
That becomes something you could market. Yeah, and do anything that can. That's called an additional profit center. And any additional profit centers that you can have. And you know the other thing too. Are you vacation based?
Yeah, this is one of the parts.
Okay, I don't know where that is, but if you're vacation-based, and I talked to you briefly about it, activities that you can offer your clients that rent from you, activities that you can get commissions on.
Yep. So we're doing corporate database as well in terms of the tourism, and now we're jumping our main idea is to get into self-development and creating the communities.
Yeah, you're on track.
Thank you very much.
No,
Cheers.
good job. Give him a hand. That's a wonderful business. Yeah.
Hi, Errol.
Brother, how are you
yeah,
doing?
may I join you?
Of course you may.
Very good.
What if I said no?
Yeah.
Turn around, walk out?
Yeah, I guess I
I'd
had
get
to.
fired. Peter'd fire me and he wouldn't pay me these heavy wages that I get.
Well, first off, it's a real honor. I mean, that I can meet someone.
I'm glad. I wish you'd tell my daughter that, because she doesn't think it's such a big honor.
It's like the guys that actually read Think, Grow and Rich and got rich to meet you. That's crazy, because I'm currently reading the book.
Thank you very much. I'm humbled by that. And your question is?
And my question is, I guess it's a question many of you entrepreneurs already solved. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. So it's I'm currently in a 9-to-5. So
you're working in the so you're employed.
I'm
in what field?
In app marketing.
App
marketing. So it's a marketing agency.
Okay.
And
you work for a salary or commissions?
I work for salary and commissions.
Salary and commissions.
And
your question is?
I'm in sales, and I don't really have trust in the product.
Got it. Your
so
question is?
My question is.
I'm sorry. I know you think I'm, but we're lined up here.
Yeah. Since nothing really resonates with me, like the whole being employed thing. And my current boss, I thought I had like a mentorship, but it ended in a catastrophe. So
your mentorship went as far as if you sold, he would like to mentor, and if you don't sell, he doesn't mentor anymore.
Yeah, something like this.
Sounds pretty sufficient.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Are you a good salesperson?
I would say, since I'm an introvert, it's not my biggest skill.
What would you, if you went into business for yourself, what would you want to do?
It would be something analytical.
Something what?
Analytical.
Something analytical.
Something refining strategies. And
so I'm still not getting your question.
Yeah, I know. I currently have the possibility. I have like a prototype of an app, and it gets a little bit of momentum. And then I also have the possibility to work with 2 great growth hackers for a service-based business.
And
what would you go for?
I'm still not getting a question there.
What would you go for? Or do you think I could go for...
Whichever is the most profitable.
Okay. And what would you say when I don't have the money to start like the startup so that it can fool itself?
Well, are you talking about an app that isn't done now? It's an idea for an app. It's a prototype.
Prototype stage.
It's prototype. Then, do you know anybody that does apps?
Yeah.
Then you got to go see them.
Okay.
If you don't have money, you've got to put your presentation together.
Okay.
But I'm going to give you a hint. If you're going to go to somebody with an idea, what do you do, Michael? If you go to somebody with an idea, what do you get before you give them the idea? A non-disclosure. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure that you get that signed before you tell them your app, or you might be giving them the app.
Okay.
Mail a copy to yourself. Rob knows that. He's been screwed many times.
Okay.
No, he has, and out of millions.
And one more thing. I really am interested in the scholarship thing that you offered about the whole SBS thing, ambassadors that spread the message, because I also think like when I really did it, I want to spread the message how I did it, and to help people, not be disillusional.
Are you talking about Peter's Partners?
Yeah, something like that.
Join us.
All right, cool.
Join us.
All right.
Thank you very
Errol.
much. Good questions.
Yeah.
and no, good luck.
Okay.
Because what you're saying is, I don't want to work for somebody else anymore. I want to work for myself. Yeah. I like it. Because, that's the only way you're going to be able to take care of yourself. And you're going to find that people will show their colors. And your boss showed his colors. As long as you were making sales for him, he mentored you. You don't make sales for him, you're yesterday's news.
Thank you, Errol.
And that's the way it works, folks.
Hi, Errol. In your life, did you ever know someone well who, for whatever reason, you didn't think they'd be good in business, and they surprised you. They really surprised you, and they were good in business.
Have I in my life have I known somebody well, and they surprised me by going into business?
No, that you didn't think was going to be good in business. For example, they were quite very artistic or very introverted, or for whatever reason, you just didn't think they'd be good in business, but they surprised you, and they were good in business.
I got the question. Sorry. I will tell you this. I encourage everybody. I wish I could say you're good at it or you're bad at it, but I say give it a shot. Whatever you want to do, give it a shot. Because what's the worst thing that can happen? Listen to me. I started out, I had nothing. Where could they get me to? The worst I could ever get to was 0. Okay? If you don't have anything, bankruptcy, you don't need it. Go ahead, take it. I'll turn my pockets inside out. You want to take me to court? Go ahead, lose money on a lawyer. But if you want to give it a shot, listen, Colonel Sanders showed his chicken to 1,000 people before anybody would even taste it. And 2 years after somebody tasted his chicken, a franchise people bought him out, and he was a millionaire. But he was 68 years old when he was a millionaire. At least he still had hair, or at least we think he did. So give it a shot. Yeah.
Thanks.
I always encourage people to go into business for themselves. I encourage you to be an entrepreneur.
I want to shake your hand first. Thank you so much. I have a question. Maybe I was talking to my buddy in the row. I'm not sure if he's still here.
Is his question not yours?
No, we were discussing this, and we didn't come to a conclusion.
All right.
So the reason why I'm bringing it up here.
Is it a bet?
No, not yet.
You guys got any money in on it?
But I guess we can bet on this somehow. It could be funny. The question is
tell me who we're going to bet on. We're going to
go. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, the question comes from my side is that I kind of feel like a self-development junkie at the moment, where I just inhale book after book after book after book. So every week I read a new book about business.
So we got to go for questions. If everybody gives a dissertation, we're going to be here forever.
All right, so this is anyway, the situation is, would you rather stick with all the information, all the theory we have right here in this seminar, and maybe Think and Grow Rich? Or would you recommend keep reading new business books and evolving more strategies at this moment? What would
Napoleon
be your
Hill says, get started on whatever you're going to get started on and learn along the way. Okay? Now, paralysis by analysis. Get started. What's your idea?
Okay, business running, and just the question was more.
So is it just a theoretical question?
Yeah, the question was, would you allocate
whatever you're getting started on, get started, and you'll learn along the way. You'll find Napoleon Hill says you'll find the money if you need the money, the education if you need the education, the people if you need the people, but get going.
Get going. Get going.
Activity yields results.
Okay, thank you. I'm done.
No, good question. A lot of people, and I've seen this a lot in business, but a lot of people will not start something until everything is, you used to be like that, but until everything is, I knew, not even knowing you, I knew. Until everything is, the guy goes out, oh, wait a minute. No, we gotta have pads, and we gotta have a dozen pencils, and we need a sharpener for the pencils, and we need a holder for the sharpeners, and I'm probably going to have some paperwork, so I better get a couple of shelves for the paper, and I'm going to need a bank loan, so I better get a bank. What's the business that you go? Well, I haven't got one yet, but when I get all this stuff, then I'm going looking for my business. No, just get started. What's the worst thing that can happen? You fail. Big deal. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, get started again.
Thank you, Errol. I resonate with that. I actually came with one question, but as I sat there, the question changed. I spotted a business opportunity with you, stem cells. I work as a dentist. I see every third patient has cancer in my practice, and I'm tired of looking at it.
That
It is
has
heartbreaking.
That has cancer?
Cancer.
Stem cell work, it doesn't really help cancer.
Doesn't help that, but I
No, it
realize
actually will help it grow.
that's right, and this is why I want to ask you. I have looked at stem cell technology, but how can we as dentists, I extract the teeth, especially the deciduous teeth, the richest cells is in the baby teeth. Why are we throwing it away? So is there a way as dentist that I can start?
It's a technology question. I have 900 people that work for me. 600 of them are PhDs or higher. How can you be higher? They have multiple degrees. Chinese people are very educated people. It's academic society. The guy gets a weekend off. He gets a degree in something else. I can't answer that question. It's a technological question.
There was some practices in England starting to charge people 10-year, 5-year plans, 20 years to start investing now for what's to come in the future. I was just wondering if you know anything about that.
I'm going to defer your question because, again, it's a technology question. I am a biochemist, but I don't know. I couldn't answer the question to save my soul. But I have 900 people that do. By the way, when you're in business, Henry Ford said, surround yourself by good people and ride out the heat. I try to hire, and we're going to talk about this tomorrow, I try to hire great people. Robbie, if he's left already, but Robbie knows I hired great people. And I had great people and then trained them well. And what I learned over the years was if you're going to give a person a job, let them do it. Now, I used to get in the way of people, but I don't anymore. So I have 900 medical people that work for me. 600 are PhDs, which might be medical doctors and PhDs. I would ask them to answer your question, but I couldn't.
So I think that's not worth pursuing.
But when you want to scale your dental business, we can talk.
Okay, we'll talk.
Because I've helped a dentist do that.
I'm interested.
And it worked very well. It was in Chicago. And this guy went through dental school. First of all, got grants. What is it? Student loans to go to school, more student loans to become a dentist, got out of dentistry, got out of school to go into dentistry, opened his practice, bought all the equipment, more loans, and then he found in 3 years he didn't like dentistry. But he was saddled with so much debt that he couldn't get out of dentistry. So he said, how do I do it? And I said, why don't you hire young dentists coming out of college that have the same problem you have and fund them? And are you ready for this? In 4 years, he opened 28 offices that he owned 58% of.
So how did he fund it if he didn't have the money at the time?
Well, he was making the money from his dental practice. And he took his dental practice, and he took the money and opened another office. And then put the other dentist in, and he always had an apprentice working for him. And that apprentice, once he felt they were competent, he put them into business. And half the time, he could get them financed and credit. Just because they're out of college doesn't mean I bought jet planes on other people's credit.
I'm actually mentoring one from Prague now to come and work for me next year.
Yeah, and you could have 30 of them, and all working for you, and then guess what you do? You close your practice, or you sell your practice to one of them, and you drive around just collecting money every day. Sound good?
That sounds pretty good.
Okay.
Thanks.
Next question.
Yeah, so you've sort of answered it already, but I just wanted to
That's
get
good.
like a specific answer.
I've been a psychic for about 27 years, and hey guys, come on up closer. Let's not, if you're way back there, let's come on up. There's other chairs. There's chairs here. Come on up and let's gather around, have a little community chat. Question.
So if you have limited resources, how could you get, a C-level person to come and work for you?
How can you, if you have limited resources, how can you get somebody that would potentially earn more money than you to work for you?
Basically, yeah.
Carefully. You have to have an opportunity. And give me the circumstances. Who are you trying to recruit and why?
So I really want to sort of beef up my business and make it huge and stuff.
So what's your business? Is it a service or product?
It's a service.
And what is it?
It's sort of in the market research field and
Sort of
outsourcing field as well.
So if I'm hiring your service, what am I paying for?
Well,
who's your customer? Define your customer for me.
New businesses, small businesses,
And
new
why would I
entrepreneurs.
hire your company? What are you going to do for me?
I don't know if I want to say the idea sort of straight out.
So do you have a client?
Sorry?
Do you have clients?
Well, to be honest, I'm talking with people.
So
at the
you're
moment,
brand
but
new?
it's not, yeah, pretty
You're
much
brand
brand
new.
new.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the first thing you have to do is define your service. Okay, and then go get customers. Okay, why would you want to hire somebody, a high-priced person? You're not ready. Go get experience, learn along the way, and make some money. And when you can make money for a living, show somebody else that they can make money. Does that make sense to you guys?
Okay, yeah.
All right, does it make sense to you? You're
Well,
looking
what
at
if-
me
what if
like,
that's an
come on,
integral
Errol, give me,
part of the business,
You know,
though?
come on, Errol, give me the real goods.
So what if like that's almost an integral part of the business?
Well, the end of the day is what I asked you is, who's your client? How much are you going to charge me, and what are you going to do for me? And you said, I don't know.
Whoa.
That's what you answered. So you're not in business yet.
Well, I sort of know. Okay, but you know, it's just because you said about the NDAs and stuff.
Well,
it
you
made
know,
it a bit
you know,
funny.
look at what if Michael's a new client? So go sell him your goods.
Okay, well, basically what the business is, and also because you said dream big, I actually want to make it bigger than what I originally came here with. But
Every journey starts with a single step. You know, you don't just get into business and become gigantic. Okay? How about have one client? Find out what happens with that one client, and then get 5, and then get 10. And then when you have more clients than you can handle, hire somebody to help you. But yet, you'll also now have experience, and you'll be able to train them and teach them how to do something. Is that making sense? That's how you're going to scale.
yeah, I suppose so, because I mean those people I wanted was probably, I suppose, people that I need for the next step, but not for now.
When I say dream big, I mean it. But don't think you can dream yourself into a business. Eventually you gotta work. So go get yourself a client, make some money.
Yeah.
Okay, my brother. And I hope you don't think I'm being cruel.
No.
I mean, I'm giving you the goods.
You know, it's just because, you know, I think I was trying to make it big before it was ready.
I
you know?
understand. I understand. Go get a client, make some money, and make sure your service works and you give value. And make sure you give more value for the money, and you'll be in business forever. Help?
Awesome.
Next person.
Thank you.
Okay, my brother, thank you for the question.
Hi, Errol. My
Hi, sweetie.
business is in healing diabetes, and I wanted to know how you decide on pricing.
Now, when you're healing diabetes, are you healing type 1 or type 2?
I can heal both.
You're healing
I can
them
help
both.
people heal
And
both.
how are you doing it? What's this? What's
the product?
How you would price is against the service that you're doing.
Right. So I have one program that has videos and content, and it gives people guidelines on how to transition.
Okay. And now let me ask you a question. What are you doing that's unique that other people aren't doing? What's special?
I'm helping diabetics eat fruit. Nobody
You're
else
helping diabetics eat fruit. Now, what's so special about that?
because diabetics
no
can't
offense,
touch it. No, it's okay.
No, diabetics do eat fruit.
For the
As a
most
matter of
part-
fact, Sarah Salati in her vegetarian program has people eat apples and bananas when their blood sugars go low.
When their blood sugars go low, but
I'm a diabetic. When my
Right,
blood
and me
sugar
too.
went low on her table, she gave me apples and bananas.
Absolutely. When your blood sugar is low, I'm saying you can transition your diet to an almost majority.
So do you have
fruit.
clients now?
No, this is brand new.
So it's brand new. Okay, so why don't you start with an hourly fee?
I wanted to create a program that is online that people can download and watch themselves, so that I don't then offer a coaching service that's more expensive.
$29.95. See how many people buy your program.
Okay.
And then, but here's the deal. You've got to show me that your program's going to work. And I'll tell you the number one thing that you're going to need.
Yeah.
Testimonials.
Right.
So before you go online, get testimonials and that show that whatever procedure you're going to use has worked.
Okay.
And the testimonials will sell your business.
Yeah. I mean, it's worked on me, so that's my first one.
Well,
but-
you're going to need more than that.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And it sounds like you're onto something.
Yeah.
And it could work.
Yeah.
It could work.
It is
but
working,
but start with a low fee
Okay.
until you're convinced that it works with other people.
And 29 is not too low where people don't. It's like almost.
$49.95.
That's
You know, it's not going to make a difference until you've got some testimonials and people that and also mirror what is out there in diabetes that is online. You know, Google and find out. You're going to probably be surprised. You're probably going to get 1,075,000 hits on cures for diabetes.
Right.
Take a look at some and find out if there's any that do what you're doing.
I've looked. Yeah. This.
Okay, that's great. Then you've got something unique.
Yeah.
So now you need to tell me how it's going to work, okay? And then put it out there on YouTube first.
Right. That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
And see what kind of feedback you get. And on that feedback, then you can charge.
Okay.
Also, do lectures. Go to B'nai B'rith. Go to universities. Go to anybody that'll listen to you.
Right.
And no need for fees. Go out and share your message. Okay. See the people, tell the story.
Okay.
See the people, tell the story. There's places that diabetes is running rampant.
Yeah.
And are you a type 1 or type 2 diabetic? You're type 1.
Yeah.
So were you insulin bearing or no insulin?
Insulin.
And now you don't take insulin.
I still take insulin, but less and less every day, and I'm eating more and more. I can eat 15 pieces of fruit a day, and I eat less than I was using before.
Okay. It sounds like you got something.
Yeah.
So charge very little until you've got a lot of clients, and the market demand will send your price up.
Okay.
But look on the market, see what other people are charging.
Right.
And find some parity there.
Okay.
Is that helpful?
Yes, very
All
much.
right.
So. Thank
Good
you.
luck to you.
Thank you.
Give her a hand. That's a wonderful, noble thing. These are great questions.
Hello,
sweetie.
Errol. A big pleasure to be here to ask you the question. So I'm running a real estate agency, you can say. I rent out houses in Italy, and I now want to work as a property finder to help people that want to invest in real estate. Nice, beautiful villas with pool in nice location in Italy.
When you say a property finder, are you planning on being a broker? Are you planning on helping people buy properties and get commission? How are you going to earn your money?
Yeah, I'm gonna get commission for who buys.
Okay,
so
so
assist the foreigners that want to come to Italy.
No, I got it. So what's your question?
So the question is, how can I, how can I get to the clients in this case, other than, of course, the normal, what's it called, listing site that are for buying property. So if you were supposed to buy property in Italy, where would you go?
Well, unfortunately, I would hire a broker to show me the properties. I would hire somebody that has listings, and I would say, show me property. So the first thing is to get some listings. So you've got something to sell. That's the first thing to do. So your first thing is Now, do you need to be licensed in Italy?
I will collaborate with the people who are have the license in Italy that we work for.
So you would work as a sub-agent?
They're like
to
an
the-
assistant, yeah.
What would prevent them from stealing the commission from you?
They don't speak English.
Okay, so what you're saying is that you want English-speaking people to come to Italy and buy property or rent property.
No,
You're already renting.
They will buy, and then I will also rent it out for them. So I will also take care of the management, so I could offer both who want to invest for a return on investment or who just want a property.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it sounds to me like you want to advertise in the United States to bring people here. So again, you use all your social medias because that's free, and then also try using Craigslist and put your offer in, blah blah, in Italy, and see what you get.
But is it something that you would have noticed in my message that would, in a way, give you the trust, or that will make a difference?
You're asking me to be an expert in selling property in Italy. It's not a fair question to ask me. It's not a business question, it's a marketing question. I would take a look at whatever's for sale in Italy, and I would find my verbiage from there. Is that helpful? Mirror whoever is doing what you're doing, or doing close to what you're doing, and then try to do something a little better than them.
Yeah,
How's that?
okay, perfect. Thank you.
Ciao. Okay, good.
Hey, Errol, how you doing, man?
Hey, my brother. How are you? Give me a hug.
How you doing? So, quick question: what is your single best advice for taking huge action?
My single best advice for taking huge action.
Yeah, in
Are you
business
talking
or-
about all-out massive action?
All out massive business and life. Yeah.
Okay, and first of all, let's talk about business.
Okay.
What business are you in?
I came here to figure that out, and I think between yesterday, I have a good idea of what I should be doing now.
Attaboy, what's it going to be?
I feel like through that whole card 3 exercise that I should be, it's maybe giving guidance, which is weird because I'm out
You
there
should be
asking
giving guidance. I don't
Yeah,
get it.
yeah.
You want to be a consultant?
Possibly, yeah. I'm
Okay.
still in the beginning stages here.
Okay,
You know,
so
I
what
can't
you
really
need to
figure
do
that out.
first of all is define
Yeah.
what you want to do, find somebody out there to mirror, and get better than them.
Okay.
And that's the best thing I can tell you.
Yeah, okay. Excellent.
And do it with gusto.
Yeah.
Okay, enthusiasm. Now I'm going to tell you guys something. Enthusiasm is more important than knowledge. You be excited about what you're doing.
Okay.
But define yourself. Have a plan. Do you remember what I started? Put your goal and your outcome.
Yeah.
Your mission statement. Put your outline together. Create your plan. Put your projects together. Create your action list.
Yeah.
Go to work.
Just go for it.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
And just kick ass.
Yeah. Perfect. Perfect.
All right.
Excellent. Thank you, my man. Thank you.
I love it. Enthusiasm.
Hi, Errol. My name is Tom. It is a pleasure to meet you. I've got a question. Long story short, I'm in a transitional state between employment and business. So right now I've got both. And my question is, how should I pick up the business partners?
Okay. So what you're saying is you want to source a business partner, or do you have somebody that's in mind and you're wondering how to put a partnership together?
Well, first of all, it would be beneficial, at least, discuss, plans and
So,
all those.
I got you. So the first question is, why do you want a business partner?
Well, probably there are a couple of things I can't see.
What's the most important reason for wanting a business partner?
To point out my blind spots and point out my blind spots, things I
So
can't see.
you want an educator.
Sort of.
Okay, so do you know the field that you want to be in?
Yes.
What's the field?
Technical.
Technical field? That's a big field. Technical what?
Right now in IT. And,
IT. Now,
developing devices.
Are you working in IT?
Yes, I do.
And so what do you want to do? Do you want to create applications? What are you going to do in IT so you can find the right partner?
You mean, what was the idea?
Well, you said you want a partner to help you prevent you from blind spots.
Yes.
What blind spot would you think you have?
Well, considering the fact I've never worked in business before, all my life I worked in a technical field, so I don't have any exposure in this field.
Okay,
so
well, the first thing you have to do is either have a product or a service that you're going to sell.
yes,
Okay?
I got
You
one.
got that?
Yes.
Okay, go sell some.
Actually, it's happening. So
Yeah, it's happening already?
yes.
Okay, what do you need a partner for then? If you can do it without a partner, I suggest you do it without a partner. If you can educate yourself and overcome, what happens is whatever challenge you run into, see if you can overcome it yourself or go to someone for advice to overcome it. Don't bring a partner in.
Right.
Okay?
So like a coach or a mentor or something like that.
Whatever, yeah. Or go resolve the problem yourself. But you know what I talk about business? Go get some problems. Go run into some problems. So you have something to solve, and then you can grow, can't you? Because without a problem, you can't grow.
I just want to say one quick thing. I had a business partner at the beginning because I had the exact same issue. I was insecure. It was the worst decision I ever made. It's like date, very slow. The best solution is hire a consultant like Errol or someone else for coaching. He'll cover all your blind spots.
Not like Errol. Errol's not for sale.
Thank you so much.
Peter's got all my time. He pays me so much money, nobody could afford me. No, listen, keep going. Don't stop. Keep going. Get some more clients. Run into some problems and then resolve them. If you need to go to somebody better or like Sam said, hire a consultant or get the information that you need to resolve the problem, fix it. You know what I mean? If you buy a car and it breaks down, learn how to fix it. So you don't have to pay a mechanic. But you don't want to hire a mechanic as your partner and get stuck with a shit partner that holds you back or steals your money. So if you can do it yourself, do it yourself.
Thank you so much.
All right, my brother.
Thank you.
Keep going. Good question.
Hello.
Is this a double question? Okay. Are you going to ask half the question and you're asking the other half?
We have same project.
Okay.
We want to. My name is Özgür Gürbüz.
Hey guys, if you want to yak, why don't you go ahead and step out and call it a night? Because I can't hear them. I'm hearing yakking. So it's okay. If you're ready to go on home. I'm going to stay here and answer every question that gets asked me. I said I would and I will. But I want to hear them.
We are coming from animation industry. I'm an animation director and character designer. My friend, animator, very talented animator, and we want to show you little things in this here. And
yeah, we like to.
So what are you showing me? Oh, you're animators, and you've got animation.
We are animators, and we want to produce all of them.
So what's your question?
My question is, we want to use them for children's education, and we want to finance this thing.
Okay.
How can we finance?
I happen to have some tremendous experience in this. Do you want me to share it with you?
Please.
You want to hear it? My ex-wife, I have 3. My multimillionaire ex-wife wasn't before she married me, is now, and I had a business doing animation.
Oh, cool.
And what we did is we did Magic Panda. Does anybody know that the panda is a prehistoric animal? The panda is a prehistoric animal. It's over 3 million years old, and it sat at the foot of every emperor in China. And the Magic Panda, what we did is we invented the Magic Panda, and we did educational history stories for Chinese children using the Magic Panda, teaching little baby pandas. So it was all animated. But we didn't market it as books. What we did is we had the Magic Panda teach the kids, but then we went to banks and insurance companies and got their advertisement in the book. And then we did story. Magic Panda teaches the pandas' families how to buy insurance. Magic Panda teaches the baby pandas how to open a bank account. And we opened, are you ready for this? With HSBC, 170 million bank accounts in China. We created a cartoon, and the cartoon in China, they were, what are the cheap cartoons called? Stick cartoons or something? Where the animation isn't good? Because in China, the government buys all the content, and they pay a certain amount of money, so the companies that are doing it to make money don't put good quality stuff together. We did good quality stuff, and then we bought all the advertising and sold it to our bank. And so we had the best feature cartoons in the marketplace. Then what we did is like Disney, this is China, like Disney, we had costumes made. And then we went to shopping malls, and Magic Panda was on TV. And we would advertise on TV that Magic Panda was going to be at this shopping center, and you would not believe the reception. And the bank would be there, and they would give out free books. The free books had a coupon in it to do what? Open a bank account. And we would give away 20 or 30,000 books, and the bank gave us a $5 million budget, of which we put $1 million in our pockets. Then, what is the panda's food? What do pandas eat? Bamboo. So we created little bamboo seeds and a little Magic Panda cup with dirt in it, and we sold them for 10 renminbi. And guess what we sold? 10 million of them. Now, when the roots grow out of the cup, what do you got to put it in? A bigger cup. So we had 3 sizes of Magic Panda cups that we sold 10 million at a shot. Now, on the Magic Panda cup, we put advertising for the insurance agencies. And guess what? They bought it from us. We sold the cup for 10 renminbi plus multi-millions of dollars. When the shoot got to be 3 feet, we transplanted it to the Magic Panda's habitat. And so we did green energy ecology, and guess who helped us out with that? The Chinese government. And the panda is an endangered species. Why? Because the government is ruining the habitat. And we repopulated the habitat. Now, maybe that gives you some ideas. Okay? She created, I left her a multi-million dollar business. And now she does, Cece, you know her. Now she's very rich. Now, I didn't need the money, so she kept it. But that, got some ideas?
Yes, exactly.
Outstanding.
We believe our project's uniqueness, so we are open to collaboration to everybody if you want to interest us.
All right, there you go.
Okay.
Congratulations. Great story, isn't it? I didn't know the panda was a prehistoric animal. We just kept, remember what I told you? Imagination and creativity. And I wrote the stories in English, and then she put them in Chinese. And we went to HSBC, and they loved it, Robbie. Well, you know that. That's saleable, isn't it? Something you would do.
Hi, Errol. I'm James.
James, how you doing?
Nice to meet you. I have a service business.
Did you know the panda was a prehistoric animal?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's actually, the panda is actually bigger now. It was actually small, like a big dog. Yeah, it's a gift.